No person shall, after commencement of this act, beginning to carry on any class of insurance business in India and on insurance carrying on any class of insurance business in India shall, after the expire of their month from the commandment of the act, continue to carry on any such business unless has obtained from the authority a certificate of registration for the particular class of insurance business, provided that in case of an insurance who was carrying on any class of insurance business in India at the commandment of the Act, failure to obtain a certificate of registration in accordance with the requirement of this subclass shall not operator to invalidate many contract of insurance entered into by him if before such date as may be fixed in this behalf by the central government by notification in the official gazette he has obtained that certified, provided a future that a person or insurance as the case may be carrying on any class of insurance business in India on or before the commandment of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999, for which no registration characters was necessary. Pro to such commandment may continue to do so for a period of 3 months from such commandment of the had made an application for such registration with the said period of 3 months till the disposal of such application. Provide also that any characteristic of registration obtained immediately before the commandment of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999 shall be deemed to have been obtained from the authority in accordance with the provision of this Act. Every application for registration shall be made in such manner and shall be accompanied by such documents as may be established by the registration. According by Insurance Act 2015, a characteristic copy of the memorandum and actually of attestation where the application is a company and incorporated under the Indian Companies Act 1930 or under the Indian Corporation Act 1882 or under the Indian Companies Act 1866 or under any act he published thereby, or in the case of any other insurance specialist in subclass or subclass class of section 2, a characteristic copy of the date of preparership or of the date of continue of the company as the easy may be, or in the case of any insurance having this principal place of business or domicile outside India. The document specialist in class of section 63. The name, address, and the occupation if any of the declaration where insurance is a company incorporated under the Companies Act 2013 or under the Indian Company Act 1882 or under the Indian Companies Act 1866 or under any act republished thereby, and in the case of an insurance specialist in subclass of class of section 2, the names and address or the proportion and the management in India, and in any other case the full address of the principal office of the insurance in India and the name of the description and the manager at such office and the name and address of some or more person resident in India. Authorities of to the accept any notice required by the server on the insured. A statement of the class or class of insurance business done or to be done, and a statement that the amount required to be disposed by section 7 or the section 98 before application for registration is made has been deposited together with a rectified from the Reserve Bank of India showing the amount deposited. Where the provision of section 6 or section 97 apply, a declaration verified by an affidavit made by the principal officer of the insurance authority by that behalf, and the provisional of those sections as to paid up equity capital or working capital have been complete with. In the case of an insurance having the principal place of business or domicile outside Indian, statement verified by an affidavit made by the principal officer of the insurance setting for the requirement, if not applicable to national of the country in which such insurance is constituted, improved or domiciled, which are imposed by the law or particulars of that country upon India nationals as a condition or carrying on insured business in the country. A characterized copy of the published prospectus in any and the standard policy form of the insured, and statements of the assured retards, advantage, terms and conditions to be offered in connection with insurance policy, together with a characterized in connection with life insurance business by any actuary that such rate, advantage, terms and conditions are workable and sound, provided that in the case of marine accident and miscegenation insurance business other than working a competition and motor car insurance. The above requirement registration deposition from an statement shall be complete with only insofar as the proportion from a statement may be available and the respect showing payment of fee as may be determined by the resolution which shall not exceed 50,000 repaid from cash class of business as may be established by the registration made by the authority. Such other documents as may be specialized by the registration made by the authority. If on respect of a application for registration and after making such inquiry as he deems fit, the controller is satisfied that the principal condition and the general charges of management of the application are sound, the volume of business likely to be available to, and the capital structure and earning prospect of the application will be educated. The interest of the general public will be served if the certificate of registration is granted to the application in respect of the class or insurance business successfully in the application and the application has complete with the provision of section 2C 5 and 3A on and 32 and has fulfilled all the requirements of this section applicable to him, the authority may register the application as an insured and grant him a certificate for registration. The authority shall give preference to register the application and grant him a certificate of registration if such application agrees in the form and manner as may be satisfied by the registration made by the authority to carry on the life insurance business or general insurance business for providing healthy cover of invalidity of ground of individuality. Where are the authority refresh registration, we shall recording the personnel for such class domestical animals of the class of the room of the professor's copy therefore of the application. Any person aggrieved by the decision of the authority refreshing registration may with 30 days from the date on which a copy of the decision is received by him appeal on the secretary's applicable third bond on the section 3 of the section 52 or the 1999. In the case of any insurance having joint venturely with a person having its principal place of business domiciled outside India or any insurance as defined in subclass of section, the authority may without registration already made it is certified that in the control who is such personnel has been divided by law or practice of the country to carry on insurance business. The authorities may suspend or cancel the registration of an insurance either who all or in of so far it is related to particularly class of insurance business as the case may be accompanied by insurance 15 act 2015. If the insurance fails at any times to complete with the provisional of section 64 VA as to the case of the value of his assessed over the amount of his liabilities. If the insurance is in liquidation or is adjusted as an insolvency, if the business or class of the business or class insurance insured has been transferred to any person or has been transferred to or acknowledgement with the business of any other insured without the approval of the authority. If the insured made default in compliance with or acts in contravention of any requirement of this act or of any rules or any legislation or order made or any disposition used thousand or accompanied by Insurance Act 2015. If the authorities has been reason to believe that any claim upon the insured saying in India under any policy of insurers requirement under for 3 months after final judgment in registration court of law. If the insured carries of any business other the insurer's business or any perceived business. If the insurer make a default in complaint with any description used or order made as the case may be by the authority under the Insurance Registration and Development Authority Act 1999. If the insurer make a default in complaint with or act in contravention of any requirement of the Compliance Act 2013 or the General Insurance Business Act 1772 or the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999 or the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. If the insurance fail to pay the annual fee required under Section 3A, if the insurer is convicted for any offense under any law for the time beginning in force or if the insurer begin a cooperative society set up under the relevant state law or is the case may be the Multi-State Cooperation Society Act 2002 contravenes the provision of law as may be applicable to the insured. When the authority suspends or cancels any registration under class, E class, F clause or clause of subsection, it shall give notice in writing to the insurer of the decision and the decision has take effect on such that is may specialist in that half in the nutritious does not dated not being less than on moment not more than 2 months from the data of respect of the notice in the original course of transmission. When the authority suspends or cancels any registration under clause, the suspension or cancellation, as the case may be, shall take effect on the data on which notice of the order of suspension or cancellation is served on of the insured. When a registration is cancelled, the insured shall not, after the cancellation has taken effect, enter into any new contract of insurance but rights and liabilities in respect of contract of insurance entered into by him before such cancellation take effect shall subject to the provisional or subsection. Continue is the cancellation had not taken place. While registration in suspend or cancellation under class, the authority may add that its discretion revert the registration if the insurance with 6 months from the data on which the suspension or cancellation took after complies with the provision of section 64 VA as the excuse of the value of his assets over the amounts of have liabilities or has had an application under subsection 4 of section 3A accepted or certified the authority that no claim upon him such as a authority that no claim upon him such as a referred to in class of subsection 4 remaining unpaid or that he has completed with any requirement of this act or the Insurance Regulation and Development Authority Act 1999 or of many rules or any resolution or any order made thwarted or any description insured under those acts or the he has case to carry on any business then the insurance business to the come back from insurance or any perceived business as the case may be and complies with any description which may be given the him by the authority. While legal registration of an insurance company is cancelled under subsection 4, the authority may, after expire of 6 months from the data on which the cancellation took after appeal to the contract for an order to wind up the insurance company or to wind up the affairs of the company in respect of class of insurance business unless the registration of the insurance company has been divided under subsection 5C or an application for unwinding up the company has been already presented to the court. The court may process as an application under the subsection where an application under subsection of section 5.3 or subsection of section 5.8 as the case may be. The authority may be order, suspend or cancel any registration in such manner as may be determined by the registration made by it, provided that no order under this subsection shall be made unless the person concerned has been given as responsible operationally of being heard. The authority may, on payment of the pursued by free not extending 5 request insured publics respected rectified of registration to replace rectified loss, restored or mutilated or in any other case where he is of opinion that the use of disputed rectified of necessary. In insurance who has been granted a rectified of registration under section 3 shall pay such annual fee to the authority in such manner as may be specialized by the registration. Any failure to deposit the annual fee shall render the rectified or registration liability to be cancelled by evidence of payment of the fee as determined by the registration made by the authority, which may vary according to the total gross payment writing directed in India during the year preceding the year in which the application is required to be made under this section by the insured in the class of insurance business to which the registration related but shall not exceed on future of on per center of such payment income or refuse 5 crores will bears is less be less in any case than 500 expects for case class insurance business, provided that in the case of any insurance carrying on salary insurance business, the provisional of the subsection shall apply with the modification that instituted of the total gross premium writing depicted in India. The total payment respect of valuable insurance accepted by him in India shall be taken into account. The fee of determined by the registration made by the authority for the renewal of a registration for any year shall be paid into the Reserve Bank of India, or where there is no office of that bank. into the Imperial Bank of Indian action, acting as the agent of that bank, or into any government treasury, and their respect shall be sent along the he application for renewal of the registration. The insured shall pay or undertaking to pay on any policy of life insurance of group policy used minimum annuity on other defined as may be determined by registration, excluding any prompt of bonus, provide that this shall be not any policy into a paid up policy of any value or payment of servant value of any amount, provided that an appeal shall lie to the control government from on orders passed by the authority imposing a penalty on the insurance. The authority shall on fulfill payment by the insurer of the requirement of the section renew the registration and grant him a certificate of renewal of registration. Act by Insurance Act 1999 subject for the business of section 338 or Insurance Company of India. If when constitution an application from registration under section 3 or at any other time, it appears to the authority that the accelerated advantage terms and condition offered or to be offered in condition with life insurance business are in any respect not workable or sound. He may require that a statement therefore shall be submitted to any authority provided by the insurance for the purpose and approved by the authority and may be ordered in writing future require the insurance to make with such time as may be specified in the insurance company on Indian. In the said rates advantage team or condition as case may be, the side actually may report to be the necessary to the enable him to rectify that the side rates advantage teams and condition and workable and sound system the minimum person of the insurance. If any insurance through inventors a authority is without such consent as first registered by a name identical with that by which an insured already in existence, that by which an insured already in existence whether professional registered or not as carrying on business or so nearly spending its so at be calculated to devise the first mentioned insurance shall, if called upon to do so by the authority on the application of the second mentioned insured, says him with time to be fixed by the authority, provided that nothing in the section shall apply to any insurer carrying on business before the 27th day of January 1937 under the Indian Life Assuring Company Act 1920, provided the user in the application of this section to any insurer who begin to carry on insurance business after the amendment of the Insurance Act. The reference to the insurance in extended in subsection, and this subsection shall be contract as including reference to provident society as different in part 30 in stand within writing or not the society is in course of being dissolved by the insurance company are not the provided in the Academy by Insurance Act 2015. If an insurance through invention of authorities is without such consent as associate registered by a name identical with that by which an insurance already in existence, whether professional registered or not, a carrying on business or so nearly resembling it is to be calculated to devise the first mentioned insurance shall, if called upon to do so by the authority on the application of the second mentioned insurance, change him with the time or to fixed by the authority, provided that nothing in the society section shall apply to any insurance carrying on business before the 7th day of January 1937 under the Indian Life Insurance Company Act 1920, provided future that in the application of the section to any insurance who begin to carry on insurance business after the amendment of the Insurance Act 1946, the reference to the insurance in existence in subsection and the subsection shall be contracts including reference to a provident society in extended whether or not the society is in course of beginning dissolved under the section of 35 dispensation in the registration in the column 3 to 65. Every insurance shall, in respect of the insurance business carried on by him in India, deposit and keep deposit with the Reserve Banks of India in one of the office in India of the bank for and on behalf of the central government the amounts be after specialized either in case of or approved securities estimate at the market value of the securitization on the day of deposit or partly in case and partly in approved securities so statement. In the case of life insurance business, a sum equivalent to 1% of his total gross premium writing direct in India in any financial year commencement after the 31st day of March 2000, not exceeding the previous then course. In the case of general insurance business, a sum equivalent to the 2-3% of the total gross perfume item in India. In any principal year commencing after the 31st day of March 2000, not exceeding the previous 10 crores. In the case of the insurance business, of sum of the best 20 crores. Provide that 3 the business does or 2 to be done is marrying insurance only and related exclusive to country corrective or its carriage or both. The amount to do deposit under this subsection shall be 100,000 portion only. That in respect of any insurance not having a share capital and carrying on only such insurance business, and in the opinion of the central government is not carried on ordinarily by insurance under support policy, the central government may be notification under official gazetted. What are the that the provisional of this subsection shall apply to such insured with the modification that interest of sum of roofs 20 lakhs or roofs 10 lakhs, as the case may be, the deposit to be made by such insured shall be such amount being not less than only 150,000 repos, as may be specialized in the said order. For the insurance is an insurance specialized in subclass of section 2, her shall be named to have complete with the provisional of this class section was to deposit, if any section deposit the class of remaining the format. Him in India under a standing contract of the natural referred to in subclass of class 90 of section 2 or deposit or any amount on and half time that specialized in subsection has been made in the reverse, has been made and the reverse. Reserve Bank of India in one of the office in India of the bank offer and on behalf of the central government in case or approved securities estimated at the market value of the securities on the day of deposit by or on half of the underwritings who are members of the society of lawyers with whom he has his standing contract, where the deposit to be made by an insurer not carrying on insurance business in India immediately before the commandment of the Insurance Act 1968 of deposit or repose 10 lakh shall be made before the application for registration is made and the provision of class of subsection of shall apply to such insurance after his registration as the apply to any insured suspend specialized in class of subsection, and any insurance company may be shall not be registered by from any class of insurance business and addition to the class or class for which a already registered until the full deposit required under subsection has been made, wherein insured who intends to become a member of group does not carry on all the class of insurance business carried on by the others insurance in such groups or were out of the thermal insurance who direct to from themselves in from the group. Any insurance does not carry on all the class of insurance business carried on by the others insurance who desire up to from themselves into the group. Sub insured may be registered by the class for the class of insurance business which is or are carried on by the other insured of the group of the provided group, as the case of may be, and where any application for registration is made by any such insurance on the authorities may be nothing holding anything connected in subsection 2a for section 3 or subsection 4 registered such insured for on a more additional class or insurance if the following conditions are fulfilled memorial, namely the authorities established the registration for the power post one or more additional class of insurance business would equally the insured to common number of the group. Agreement have been extended by all the insurance in the group or proposed group, as the case may be, and such agreements in the opening of the authority states the requirement of the exclamation to subsection, and the insurance has a after the communication of the Insurance Act 1968 made a deposit of a sum not less than the total of all the interment of deposit which he would have been required to make after such communication till the data for this becoming a member of the group had he been a member of the group from such communication. The authority shall cancel the registration made in or post of the provisional of subsection if the insured referred to hearing fail to become with him the period of 3 months from the data of such registration of member of the group or power post group, as the case may be, and where such registration has been cancellation, the provisional of this act shall apply to the insured as if he had not been registered for the class or class of insurance business in relation to which his registration has been cancelled. Securities already deposited with the controller of currency in complying with the Indian Life Insurance Company Act 1920 shall be transferred by him to the Reserve Bank of India, and shall not the extent of the three market value as the data of the communication of this act be deemed to be deposited under this act as the endorsement or as part of this endorsement to be made under the foreign provisional of the section before the application for registration is made, whether in such application is or not, for in the fact made. A deposit made in class case shall be held by the Reserve Bank of India to the correct of the insured, and shall expect to the extent, if any, to such which the case has been invested in securities under subsection 1994 be returnable to the insurance insured in any case in which under the provisions of this act a deposit is not be returned, and any interest accruing due and collected on securities deposit under subsection 1 or subsection 2 shall be paid the insurance, subject only to deduction of the normally comments chargeable for the realization of the interest. The insurance may be at any time replace any securities deposited by him under the section with the Reserve Bank of India, either by case of or by other approved securities, or partly by case and partly by others approved securities, provided that such case or the value of such other approved securities estimated at the market rate prevailing at the time of replacement, or such case together with such value as the case may be is not less than the value of the securities replaced, estimated at the market rates prevailing when the deposit. The Reserve Bank of India shall is so required by the insurance. Shall any securities disposed by him with the bank under this section and hold the case realized by such shall has deposit or invest in approved securities established by the insurance insured at the whole or any part of deposit held by in case, or the whole or any part of case received by it on the sale of or on the maturing of securities deposit by the insurance and hold the securities in which investment is so made as deposit, and may exchange the normally commands on such salary or on such investment, where subsection 94A fails. If the case alleged by the sale of or on the misuring of the securities, excluding in the format case of the interest accurate, fell short of the market value of the securities at the data on which they were deposited with the banks. The insured shall make good the difference by a future deposit, either in case or in approved securities estimated at the market value of the securities on the day on which they are deposited, or partly in case and partly in approved securities as estimated within a purview of 2 months from the data on which the securities mutual or sold, or where the securities maturated or were sold before the 21st day of March 1940, within a period of from months from the amendments on the Insurance Act 1940, and unless that does not, so the insurer shall be deemed to have failed to comply with the requirement of this section as to deposit, and if the easy cash resulted by the sale of or on the maturing of the securities format case the interest extended the market value of the securities at the data on which they were deposited, the bank, the central government may, if statefully, that the full amounts required to the deposited under subsection on is in deposited direct the Reserve Bank the returned on the exchange. If any part of a deposit made under this section is used in the disregard of any liability of the insurance shall deposit so additional sum in case or appropriated securities estimated at the market value of the securities on the day of deposit, or partly in case and partly in case has securities as will make up the amounts so used. The insurer shall be insured. The insurer shall be deemed to have failed to comply with the requirement of subsection unless the defense is supplied with him a approved of 2 months from the data when the deposit or any part therefore so used from delivering liability available. Any deposit by the রেজিস্ট্রেশন নুসরাত জাহান বরখাস্ত দেখতেছি সবই made under section 7 or section 1980 shall be deemed to be part of the access of the insured but shall not be susceptible of any assessment or charge or shall charged more, nor shall it be available of the discourage of any liability of the insured others than liabilities action out of political of insurance is used by the insured so long as any such liabilities remaining undercharged, nor shall there be liability to attachment in extension of any respect drift option by the policy holder of the insured in respect of a debit due upon a policy whose debit the policy holder has failed to release in any other way. Where a deposit made in inspection if life insurance business the deposit made in requited therefore shall not be available for discharge of any liability of the insured other than liabilities arising out of policy of the insurance used by the insurance. Remained of deposit where an insured has case to carry on in Indian all class of insurance business and his liabilities in India in respect of all class of insurance business have been stratified or are otherwise provided for the court may on the application of the insured order the return to the insured of the deposit made by him under this act. Nusrat Jahaner, Hungary, the so where in the insurance course on business of more than on of the following class, namely life insurance or miscellaneous insurance, he shall keep separate accounts for all inspection and payments in respect on the sure cash such class of insurance business and where the insurance carries on business of mediation insurance whether alone or in continuation with business of another class, he shall unless the authority waive the requirement in writing keep a separately accounts of all aspects and payments in respect of case of such subclass of mediation insurance business as may be specialized by the registration provided that no subclass of miscellaneous insurance business shall be purposable under this subsection if the insurance business comprised in the subclass consort of insurance contract with are treatable by the insurance at interval not extending 12 months and under which if a claim across the insurer a liability to pay benefit case without 1 year of the data on which the claim across. Where the insurance carries on the business of life insurance, all respects due in respect of such business shall be carried and to shall from spread turn to be called from life insurance found the access for which shall be kept distanced and separate from all other state of the insurer, and the deposit made by the insurer in respect of life insurance business shall be deemed to be part of the access for such found, and every insurer shall within the time limited in subsection of section 15 in regard to the finishing of the statement and accounts referred to in section 11 furniture furnish to the authority a statement showing and details as assessed as at the close of every calendar year duly characterized by an auditory or by a person equated to audit, provided that such a statement shall in the case of an insured to whom section 11 appeals by the set out as a part of the balance sheet mentioned in class of subsection of that section, provided future that any insurance may show in such statement all the assets held in this life return department, but at the same time showing any deduction on account of general reserve and their liabilities of the determined, provided also that the authority may call for a statement similarly characterized of such stage as at any other data specialized by him to be furnished within a period of 3 months from the data with reference to which the statement is called for. No insurance carrying on life insurance business shall be entitled to be registered for any classroom of insurance business in addition to the class or class for which he has been already registered unless the authority is certified that the assets for the life insurance found of the insurance are adequate to meet all his liabilities on policy of life insurance maturing for payment. Who are the insurance carry on the business of insurance? All respect due in respect of each subclass of such insurance business shall be carried by to and shall from a spread found. This assets for which shall be kept spread and distant from other assets of the insurance, and every insurance shall submit to the authority the necessary details of such fines as may be required by the authority from time to time, and such fine shall not be applied direct or indirectly, save and especially permitted under the Act by registration made third. The life insurance fine shall be as absolutely the security of the life policy holder as through it belonging to any registration insurance life business, and shall not be liabilities for any contract of the insurance for which it would not have been liability and the business of the insurance being only no insurance carrying of life insurance to register for any class of insurance business on additional to their class from the insurance by the room. Every insurer the on of after the date of the amendment of the Insurance Law Act 2050 in respect of insurance business transacted by him and respect of his shareholder fine shall act the expectation of cash financial year power force within reference to that year's balance shall act sheet at perfect and loss account a respectation account of respects and payments events accounts in according with the resolution as may be specialized. Every insurance shall keep spread accounts in relation to fines of shareholders and policyholder, unless the insurance is company as defined in class 20 of section 2 of the Section Companies Act 1930. The accounts and statement referenced to in subsection is on shall be signed by the insurer, or in the case of a company by the chairman if any, and to discretion and the principal offer of the company, or in case of any insurance corporation society by the person in charge of the society, and shall be accompanied by a statement quotation correction the names, definition and occupation of and the description held by the person in charge of management of the business during the period to the which has accounts and statement relieved by the respect on the affairs of the business during that period. Nusratul Madar Please come. Phone the off. Please come and every insurance carrying Mr. Sater, mother, please come and close the phone. Provide that the authority may be will